You ever wonder what your therapist thinks of you? Well, after working for 20 years in the business, right? The business, and being a clinical psychologist and a sports psychologist and seeing thousands of people, I'm going to tell you today what your therapist really thinks of you. Welcome. I'm glad you're joining me today. I am Dr. Leif Smith, and today I want to tell you a little bit about what your therapist thinks about you. I help people get better, be better, and do better. And I've been doing this for 20 years now. Hard to believe. And so I wanted to talk today a little bit about what your therapist thinks about you, what your therapist thinks in general, because I get that question a lot. A lot of my clients, they pop that little question in there, right? They say, you must think I'm crazy, or I must be the craziest client you've ever had, or you must laugh on your way home, or you must whatever when I leave here. And honestly, I'm here to tell you after 20 years, your therapist is going to have lots of thoughts about you. Lots of thoughts. And if they're a good therapist, they can share the helpful ones with you. For instance, I like to tell my clients my true feelings when I feel it can really benefit them. So when I'm proud of my clients, I tell them, and that happens a lot. When I think my clients are being brave, I really admire that, and I tell them. In fact, I think it's incredibly brave to come into the office of a complete stranger in the beginning and reveal your entire life, and reveal these things that you're embarrassed about, these changes that you want to make, that you're terrified of making. I think that's incredibly brave to do that. And so that's one thing that your therapist is probably thinking. They probably admire you for coming in, spilling the beans, right? Spilling your guts everywhere. They probably admire you for these changes that you're about to make. Another thing your therapist probably thinks about is, I've been there, right? So your therapist, after having seen thousands of people like myself, right? I've seen thousands of people. Your therapist probably seen a lot of people too. And so they've probably been there, done that. They may not have been suicidal, right? But maybe they understand what it's like to not believe in themselves and to feel hopeless and to think that there's no answers waiting for us around the corner. Maybe they haven't had panic attacks, but they've been so anxious that they get sweaty hands, right? Or their heart races and pumps and beats out of their chest. So your therapist is probably also thinking, yep, I can relate. What else is your therapist thinking about? Well, we think about lots of things. We think about how brave you are, like I said. What do you think about, can we relate to that? We think, are we doing a good enough job for you? I know I think that a lot. There's some days I think, maybe I'm an imposter, right? I have a separate video on that you can watch. Some days I think, maybe I'm not good enough for my clients. Some days I think, hey, this client is inspiring me to be a better person myself, to be a better therapist, to be a better sports psychologist. I better get off my butt and do something and match their level of work. So your therapist probably admires you in a lot of ways too. But one thing that I never think about my clients is I never think how pathetic they are. I never judge them in a negative way. Why? Because, like I said earlier, it takes incredible courage and guts and bravery to sit down in the office of someone and reveal, here's my problem, I need to fix it, I don't know how to do that. Can I have your help? How do you judge that in a negative way? There's nothing but admiration your therapist is going to have for you. So, as therapists, and I will speak for other therapists here, we're not judging you negatively. We're not making fun of you secretly when you leave. A lot of times we miss you. A lot of times we care about you. Some clients you're going to love, right? You see enough people over the years, your clients are going to affect you as a therapist. So I let every person I see in my office change me. I let them make me a better person, a better therapist, a better husband, a better dad. just a better human being. And your therapist is probably the same way, I would hope. Okay? And so those thoughts that you have, right? Those crazy thoughts when you're driving home from your therapist office and you're thinking, oh my God, they must think I'm crazy. No, we don't. We actually have a lot of respect for you. We have a lot of admiration for you. And we're wondering, hey, did I do a good enough job to help them today? Did I match them? Am I as brave as they are? Could I do what they're doing? How can I help them better next week? So that is what your therapist is really thinking. If you enjoy these videos, again, I'm Dr. Leif Smith, and I help people get better, be better, and do better. That's my specialty. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.